guys, we are back with Messy on Purpose, and I have Michelle with me here today. And after rescheduling on her a few times, we finally made this happen because life gets messy. Michelle, you want to just kind of dive in a little bit about yourself?
Thank you so much for having me today. I am Michelle MacNeil, and my life is basically a case study in controlled chaos. I live on a small farm in rural Alberta with my husband and our 6-year-old daughter, and a whole collection of animals. By day, I'm a certified systems business coach, helping overwhelmed entrepreneurs get organized and profitable so their business doesn't run their life. And by every other hour, when I'm not doing that, I'm field testing my own systems, trying to continuously manage living on a homestead and business and parenting. And the reason I'm really excited to be here today is I've learned that the mess isn't the problem because that's where all the good stuff lives.
It's so true. Something that's very interesting in the way you live is I feel like that's like in the way the world has changed, right? And the chaos that's around us almost all the time. A lot of people talk about wanting to have that homestead life. And I don't think people realize how much actual work goes into that type of life.
You are so correct. And neither did we. We came into this with a blind hubris that I'm really glad we had, or else we wouldn't have done it. It's been the most humbling, extensive learning curve I've ever experienced. And
What
it gets
what
romanticized.
what really kind of pushed you into that lifestyle? Like what brought you guys to that point?
It was kind of the perfect storm, but we joke and say COVID made us do it. So we sold our house. We were living in a beautiful house in a small town, like on a golf course, like just, the cookie cutter neighborhood. And we were just like, we don't want to be here. So we sold our house. And then it fell apart when COVID shut the world down. So we were in a packed up house in lockdown, and we're just like, we don't want to be here. And so it took us an entire year to be able to sell our house because you remember COVID, you remember the crazy times and all the stuff.
Wait,
And
did
so the
house prices like what happened with like the market when you were trying to sell? Sorry, this is like a random
Yeah,
spinoff, but just
totally.
curious.
Well, at the beginning when our sale fell through, it was because all the uncertainty and the people that were buying our house, their down payment was an investment, so everything tanked. So it all
Oh,
fell apart right at the very end, and we were like, shit. And so we stayed put. We handled like a year. It took us a year to sell our house. And at that point, it was like peak COVID. So houses were selling before you could even like go see them. And all of a sudden, we had to be out of our house and had nowhere to go. And we're like, what do we do with a toddler and two small puppies? Because we're smart. And so we ended up expanding our search radius, finding this little chunk of paradise. So we moved a few hours away to a place we knew absolutely no one and bought 20 acres and just said, this is what we're doing now.
it just kind of felt, it was almost like it was meant to be.
Kind of. It all like everything that looked promising kept falling apart and it was so frustrating. And like we weren't homeless, but we were bouncing around between family and we had like an RV at a lake spot. But like with a not even 2-year-old and two puppies, it was awful. And then we found this place and everything just kind of came together. And I remember like driving up here and we're like, oh, we're gonna live here. And then here we are, still learning all the repercussions of that decision.
So this was never like in the plan. It was never to be out in the country and
Kind of. We had an inkling, like we've been looking at some raw land, we looked at some lake spots, but just all crammed in there. We're not really people. We like some space. And then originally we were looking at lots of property. And then we just found this place because either you are in the country and you got tons of land and like a trailer that's falling apart, or you have zero land and a great big house. So we found a medium-sized rickety house with 20 acres. And we're like, you know what? That's like the best of all the worlds.
I lo- I love how that just like kind of fell in your lap, right?
It
Like
it did.
life throws you things, and it's weird. We call it chaos, but everything I feel like happens for a reason. I don't care what anybody says. I feel like everything, every bad moment, everything that we go through, every lesson we learn, all of that happens for a reason. Same with the good, right? We have good things
Yeah,
come for a reason. And sometimes we don't know why things are falling apart until they fall into place.
pretty much. Yeah, you really hit that one on the head.
It's something that's like sat with me for a long time because there's always experiences, like especially in your younger years, how people like you're not even like myself going through something and you're just like, why is this happening to me? And like all you can think about is like, how did I deserve this? Like what did I do wrong? And you're not really like looking at like, oh, maybe that ended for a reason. That
Hmm.
chapter closed because you're not supposed to be there anymore. Or you're getting pushed. Maybe you needed to make a change, but you haven't. So life's just like, you're gonna.
Hmm. And it can be so hard to see in the moment sometimes.
Yeah. And like I feel like that kind of happened with you, right? Like you're looking for a place, you thought you found one, fell through. Why is this happening? Like we have nowhere to go.
Hmm.
We have a child, like this shouldn't, and then now look at you. I mean, you still
Yep.
this life isn't easy. We just talked about that.
No.
But
Yeah,
let's
not even
actually talk
close.
about that a little bit. Like your life at like style now. What has changed? What have you had to do to kind of grow as a person to kind of adapt to your new surroundings?
Oh boy, was that like a huge shock to our lives. Because you don't know what you don't know. And so we came here and we're just like, yes, the world is our oyster. And we did as much as we possibly could, as fast as we could. We got chicks, we got pigs, we built fencing, we did all the stuff. And it was so much fun for like the first 6 months. And then reality set in and we're like, what the fuck have we done? It was like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, the sheer volume of work that came with it was just like there. And then the things we didn't know started coming into play because a lot of things out here, like there's a reason farmers never stop moving. It's because they're proactively fixing all the shit that's about to break. They know it's coming. So they just keep going because they know something's going to happen. They're going to have to take care of it. So the more proactive they can be, the better their days are going to go. Well, we had to learn that the hard way as thing after thing after thing broke because we didn't know we were supposed to be maintaining it. And yeah, and then learning how to care for animals and then also learning that um we are not cut out to be like ruthless farmers. Um there's we are animal lovers, so there's been some really hard pieces and hard realities for us out here. So that was a big shock too. Like there's so many pieces, and if we knew then what we know now, we never would have done this. But I'm so happy we didn't because at the same time we love this so much. Well, some days we don't, but overall we love it so much. Like I'm so glad. I'm so glad we did what everyone thinks was insane, and we did it anyways.
It is crazy to think about like if you knew more about something, would you have done it, right? And I feel like
Right.
a lot, like I said before, a lot of people. I've heard so many people like, "Oh, I just want to have a little farm, like with my garden and my animals, and live off of it, and blah blah blah." And like, I just like personally, maybe I overthink things, but I've always thought about how much work it is to keep those animals alive. And then on top of it, if you're also using them as food and things too, like I can't do that. You're not seeing me out there cutting chicken's head off. Like I'm not doing that.
Yeah. It's been a lot. They say don't name your food. But we have really good neighbors that have helped us with a lot of this as well. Um, Good neighbors and YouTube are the only reason we're still alive out here. And yeah, the volume of work that goes along with it, it is a lot. And but I've learned more about life and resiliency and business from failing on the farm because there's no options. Like there's animals depending on us. Like this shit has to get done. And sometimes I forget how much I do in a day until like my mom one day was like, "Are you like okay?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And she's like, "How do you do all this?" And I'm just like, "Well, what do you mean?" She's like, "How do you do it all?" I was like, "Well, there's no option. You just do. Like they need to be fed, they need to be checked on. I gotta check the waters, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And I tend to do a lot of things.
It's like I have a to-do list. It just happens. Do you have kind of now that how long have you guys, said COVID, like about how many years?
We've been here 4.5 years. It'll be five
Four and
years
a
this
half.
summer. And
Okay.
the first two were beyond painful and humbling. And then it started, and now like I'm a systems coach. So I'm a big systems nerd. And learning, that's where the failing forward came from. It's like I can just take all of this that I teach my clients and bring it to the farm, and vice versa. I can take all the resilience I learned on the farm and take it to business. And it all kind of worked together for me. And so we built the systems we needed out here. And they change seasonally, they change when something breaks, but we have like the minimum standards of what has to get done. And then everything else just gets added to the list and gets taken care of as time comes or when it absolutely needs attention. And we always have a list of things and projects and a wish list. Some things get done, some things don't.
But prioritize what's important, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So
And
does your husband work just on your little farm, or is it
no,
does he have another job as well?
he does have another job. And for the first few years, he was traveling for work. So we went from family life to him being gone half the time. So that was also part of the painfulness and part of the learning curve of I don't know what I'm doing out here, but yet I have to keep everything going while he's gone for multiple days. So that
Oh
was,
man.
oh my God, it was so much. Like when I look back now, it's like we must have been mad, but that's okay. We've come a long way. And now he's home all the time. So it's gotten better there. But yeah, he works off the farm. He's in oil and gas, which is why I have to work from home. If I didn't work from home, we couldn't do this.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a way to do. I mean, you have a small child too, living out in the middle of nowhere, and then all the animals. I can't imagine being able to handle
Yeah,
that and like driving to a building every single day.
exactly. Exactly. And I'm not cut out for a 9 to 5. Like I absolutely cannot be parked in a chair from 9 to 5. It's not for me. This works very well for like my level of engagement. Like I'll work for a few hours. Like I enjoy the work I do, and then I'll go do some farm stuff and I'll go play with some animals, and then I'll come back and do work. And like I need those additional areas to bounce back and forth from just to keep myself going forward, I guess. Like I can't 9 to 5. I'm unemployable on purpose at this point.
So, do you work for a company, or do you work for yourself?
Myself.
Yourself. Oh, nice. So that's
Yeah.
even better because you literally are in
Yeah.
full control.
I
So,
am.
because it's
Yeah.
funny, people think working from home is like just like this freedom thing, and it's really not
No.
if you're working for a company. So,
Yes. And even working for yourself, like so many small business owners and entrepreneurs become their own worst boss because it's so easy to be shit to ourselves. And it can become like a trap of our own making too.
well, they talk about, and it's so true. They talk about how, you wanted to stop working 40 hours a week, so now you work all the time, which
Exactly.
is usually how it works. But
Exactly.
you are in more control of what you're doing and usually working towards a purpose. So that usually pays off.
It exactly. And the nice thing is because of the way we've structured our life, I have the ultimate flexibility with it. And it again, it changes seasonally. When my kid was in preschool, I had a different schedule than now because she's in grade 1. So I have so much time back now. And so my business has changed like with every new year and every new milestone she's hitting because that was the whole point. I wanted to be here raising my kid. And and have that fun. Like I was a daycare kid, and there's nothing wrong with that. My daycare woman is still in our life. We still keep in touch with her, but I wanted to bask in her existence and I got to do just that.
That's awesome. Do you guys plan on having more kids?
No, that ship has sailed. I'm in my 40s now, and even though my body could, the will does not want to.
Just
She
more
she took us a
animals.
while. Exactly. She took us a while, and then second one just didn't happen. And I'm an only child, so it doesn't phase me. We'll be a happy little group of weirdos. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. My husband is not a only child, but sure acts like it. So I grew up with a bunch of siblings. I have three stepsisters, a half brother, two real brothers, and a real sister. So I've been
Oh
on the
my
other side of
gosh.
it.
Yeah. Well, my extended family's Italian, so I'm used to like boisterous, loud, lots of people around, but being an only child, I also really like my solitude.
So,
Hence why
so
we
the
live in the
farm
middle
is
of nowhere.
nice. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What
There's
is some of
nothing
your?
better than like, oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. There's nothing better than
I was
what?
just gonna say, there's nothing better than like having a busy day working and then bouncing all over the place and then being able to go outside and just have like quiet, like the ambiance, like just birds, sometimes tractors, noisy stuff going by, but just, I don't know. I'm not cut out for city life. We adapted to this very quickly.
It's funny. There's so many people that just love quiet, and I just hate when it's completely silent. I'm my own worst enemy though. I drive my husband nuts. Uh, but when it comes to like being on the farm, you're mom, you're an animal lover and mom, basically, right? And then you have your job that you do too. So how do you balance all of that chaos at once? Like what does your day look like?
That depends on whatever day it might be and whatever life starts lifing at me. There's no balance. I like to call it integration. It just all has to work well together. So like days when there's no chaos, it's pretty easy. My kid and my husband are morning people, so we are up early. They're gentle with me, but we are up early. So we don't have like crazy chaotic mornings. So we've got slow mornings, and then one of us will tool out and do chores and go check on the chickens and feed the sheep and do the head count on the barn cats because they were up to no good all the time, and just do those rounds and then take the kid to school, which driving her to and from school is a really good separation for me because then I come home and it's work time. And then I just like hunker down and do some work. And then I go outside and do some farm stuff. And then I come in and do some work. And then I go pick up the kid. And because I work with small business owners, sometimes I have some evening sessions, but I tend not to work a lot when she's home. And we spend our time outside and with the animals, or when it's not minus a million and snowing, we'll be in the garden or playing with baby lambs or baby turkeys or whatever it is we've got going on. And so, yeah, we spend a lot of time just outside, just doing stuff.
Does your daughter really like being on the farm too?
Oh, yeah. She I'm pretty sure we forced our like interest on her because she's 6. Like, how much choice does she actually have? But she loves animals, and she's also, because they're so moldable at this age, she handles this better than us. Like the realities that come along with living on the farm. When you have livestock, you have dead stock. There's nothing you can do to avoid that. At some point, something's going to happen. And while there's been a couple that really crushed her, we had a nice rooster that she loved. That one really hurt her. She handles it so well. My little passion project is turkeys. So we get turkeys in the spring and then we butcher them in the fall. And I just love those stupid birds. They are dumb as sticks and they're big. And I don't know. I love them. But we had someone come here to butcher them because that is hard work and they're big. And I spent all that time raising them. Like, that is not for me. It's not up my alley. That kid sat there as a 5-year-old and watched him for hours and just asked questions. She was
She's gonna
sad for
be
a couple days, but she fully knew that they were raised for this. We have families waiting on them, and she just wanted to ask all the questions. And then, yeah, for a couple days, I miss our turkeys. I know we're gonna get more turkeys in the spring. Oh, right. She squirrels off on does something else. Like, she handles it so much better than we do.
Wow, that's incredible. She's gonna be the one doing that eventually.
She'd make a good vet because she can like compartmentalize those pieces that have to go along with it. But
Oh man, I give it to the kid. I could not,
no,
could not.
no, no. Oh, and that's where we found out that we will never be hardened farmers. We had a barn cat get injured. And around here, farmers just take care of that. And I looked at my husband and I was like, I don't know what to do. He's like, we have two options. He's like, we take care of it like farmers, or you call the vet. And so I start crying. He's like, oh, just call the goddamn vet. We're not shooting the cat. Like it was never an option. And so we're the
Oh my
crazy people that
gosh.
pay hundreds of dollars to fix barn cats when they get hurt. Because that's just
Oh
who we are.
yeah. I couldn't do it either, so.
Oh, God, no. God, no. My husband had a hard time. He had to shoot a coyote that was killing our chickens. And then when he went down to like move it out of the pasture, it hit him because it looked like a dog and he had a hard day. He's like, it looked so much like a dog. And it didn't sit too well with him.
Oh, yeah, that would be really hard. And coyotes suck. And like I would still be hard.
Yeah.
I was like, I love meat. I eat the crap out of beef and everything, but like I could never actually kill it. I
Oh,
I will
God, no.
stand
No.
like I would
Yeah.
straight cry.
And
It doesn't even need a name.
exactly. Well, and we're so lucky that we've got great neighbors. So our one neighbor is a beef farmer. He grows Black Angus beef, and so he rents our big pasture, and so which is great because we always have experience coming on and off the property. So constantly, as things are breaking, it's like, hey, I need help, and he'll come help. But they take care of all that. Like so, the like we bought a steer off of them so we could split it between a bunch of families, and they took care of all of it. Like we didn't have to worry about doing any of that. We didn't have to worry. Like he's just like, okay, well, just they did all of it. They took it to the butcher. I'm like, thank God, because I understand where my food comes from and I understand how food gets to the grocery store. But again, I know where it came from, but I don't want to do it. I'll pick it up when it's all nicely packaged and can go in my freezer.
Yeah, I don't like to see the face. Like I don't want to see the
Mm-mm.
face.
No.
I had issues one time. We went out to eat. It was like a birthday or something. So I ended up getting lobster and they put like the lobster like head on top. And I was like, I don't know if I can eat this. It's got a
Yeah.
face. Or like
Yeah.
even
I don't.
fish. I can't even go fishing. I cried last time I went fishing because it made me sad.
Yeah, it's hard. You don't want to look your food in the face.
No, no. And it was really hard to eat after that too. So it's cool that you have such great neighbors too. Is that something that you notice going from the city? So obvious, I mean, I don't feel like Canada's that much different people wise, right? Like city is city people, rural is rural
Yeah.
people, like yeah. And so going from city and being like around like those type of people and then going into like the country and being around those type of people, what are the biggest differences you found?
Huge differences. Like, there's more of a sense of community out here. Like, when we got here, people from around the neighborhood stopped in and introduced themselves. No one came empty handed. And we moved in the middle of the summer. So we were getting like garden goodies and baking. And yeah, everyone, not everyone, but a handful of people just came and introduced themselves. So we automatically knew who was around us. And then the relationships just built from there. And so now the three of us in this one little corner, like we take care of each other. Like when the people across the road, they just have a little acreage. They don't have animals. Well, they got a couple cats, but no like livestock. We watch their house when they go on vacation or go away and feed their cats. And they close up my chicken coop when we go somewhere. So the chickens aren't out all night. Um, and yeah, so actually, and then for the beef farmers, I've learned how to vaccinate cows because they do that once a year. It's intense work. I don't like it, but I go and help because they help me with everything. And so it's different. You don't like people care out here and you just don't see that much anymore. Uh I I firmly believe that small towns are stuck in like a time warp where they're like back in the 80s and they haven't like come further forward and there's like there's some magic in that.
It's a different life. Like it's just
Hmm.
they just don't, I don't, it's such a different, type of person you're dealing with. And like, I feel like city people vary too, right? Depending on what city you're in. But city people are still city people. And typically it's like more selfish people. Like something that drives me nuts. So I'm originally from the Midwest and so in Iowa, and there is more like small towny. Granted, we're in a good sized city, but it's still more small towny. So people are respectful. They put their carts away at the grocery store. They help each other out if somebody needs help and they don't even know who they are, right? And those things happened there. And then you come to like bigger cities like Las Vegas that I'm in now, and like I get so annoyed by the people that don't put their card away. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you're just rude and disrespectful. People are just like they're very more selfish mindset. Like this
Yeah.
tunnel vision is just them. There's no one else around, even though there are. And I feel like that is a hard change. It's hard to go
Hmm.
from those nice, genuine people to like city.
Yeah. It totally is. And you're right. It's like that self-centered entitlement that like, well, why would I help someone else? No one's going to help me. And it's like, well, of course, with that attitude, no one's going to help you.
You already come with a vibe that says, don't talk to me.
Right? When
Nobody's
you've got
helping you.
fuck off written on your forehead, no one's going to come talk to you.
And like I've been to like some small town. So there's one in Utah that we went to, and we didn't go there. We were just driving through. We were on our way somewhere else, and we just stopped because we were doing. Have you heard of 75 hard?
Yes.
Okay, so we were doing 75 hard, and we had to stop and do our 45-minute walk, and so we stopped in this town, and we were going for a walk just randomly, in the neighborhoods and whatever. And we had a car roll up, and it was this little old lady, and she was just like, "Who are you?" And it was very nice, but it was like, "You're not from here," And it's so funny how like they're so nice, but at the same time, they're like, "Okay, nothing's gonna happen here."
Hmm. Totally. I've had the neighbor call me and be like, there was a such and such car going slow up your driveway halfway and then back, and like they nosy neighbors are a thing out here because there's no one out here watching out for us except for each other. And not that there's much goes on here, but when there's a vehicle that no one's seen like rolling around, like the grapevine starts moving.
It's very very chatty about things
Hmm.
that happen that are out of place, and usually things are pretty much in those smaller towns too. I would say stay pretty much the same. Nothing really changes. Like
Yeah.
you said, they're still stuck in like the 80s, and
Yeah.
they just somewhat incorporated technology.
A little bit. My neighbor, he's got an old flip phone. You can't even text him. You can only call him.
That's
And apparently
amazing.
it took a lot for them to get him to use that.
Really, he was still
Yeah.
doing like just a regular phone at home.
Yeah, pretty much. And don't get me wrong, his wife's on a smartphone and everything, and she does the texting and everything. But for him, she's like, you run multiple quarters. I need to be able to get in touch with you. You have to have a phone. And so he grumbled his way into the oldest flip phone you've ever seen.
That was his way of protesting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love
Yeah.
that. Uh, how is your daughter with that stuff? Like, is she pretty good with like the tech stuff? Does she, because there's so many iPad kids now. So like growing up in an environment where you spend more time outside, I feel like definitely helps with that.
Totally. It's actually really relieved me of any of like the mom guilt on that side because she does have an iPad. Well, it's my iPad, but I haven't used it since forever. I live on the computer. But so she gets the iPad side, but she's also like the happiest little nerd. All she wants to do is like coloring or learning or science or like, and then we balance that with all the stuff we do outside. She spends so much time outside. She makes mud pies. She can play with sticks. She can herd turkeys that outweigh her by about 20 pounds. She can herd the whole flock of them from the pen to the pasture with confidence. And so yeah, she spends so much time outside. She knows how to garden. She knows how to take care of these animals. She's all over it. And yeah, she's got the best of both worlds here. And yeah, she can work technology like nobody's business. Like it's terrifying, but she also spends most of her time outside.
She gets to be a kid. I feel like when you put that iPad in front of them all the time just to keep them busy, they don't get to be a kid.
They don't. And God, you could talk to teachers these days and they'll fill you in on it. But we had a teacher strike in Alberta for the month of October. So kids went back to school for September and then they were off all of October. And I spent September stacking my calendar because I work from home. So then October happened and I was like, oh, this poor kid. She was home. I was working like crazy. And so there was far too much iPad, far too much of her up to her own devices, which is fine outside. She's not a crazy kid and I can trust her and she's never going to get hurt. She's very cautious. But you could tell that she had more iPad than she normally did. And man, they are grumpy and they're argumentative. And that was when I first realized, like, oh, that's what they mean when they say this. And then it was a quick correction on that one. But like, she's never had it to that point before when I was like, oh shit, like, this is now I understand.
Well, I think what it is like they're so energetic naturally. I know like everyone
Hmm.
thinks all these kids have ADHD, which I don't think is true. I think they're just naturally hyper for the most part. But we suppress it by keeping them busy with mindless activities like an iPad.
Hmm.
And now they have all this built up energy and emotion that they don't know how to deal with because they're too young to figure that out on their own yet. And then now they're
Hmm.
angry and upset with you and they don't even know why.
Yeah. And so much of that stuff is like built to manipulate their brain to keep them like catatonic and staring at it. And
Hmm.
which is terrifying that they're doing science projects on our kids, but that's a whole other.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
So, and it makes sense, but like when you see them and they're like not blinking, it's like, oh, okay, fresh air outside, like get going.
Yeah. And you can point out an iPad kid. I mean, this is literally a thing now. Like you can see it in public when they don't have it, when they have it, like you
Hmm.
know which ones actually like play and have fun and get out energy. And then you have the ones that are just glued to something all the time.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, we've all used an iPad to save our ass from time to time. I remember when we first moved out here, we had a part of a fence go down, and so I had sheep just like wandering. My husband's at work, of course, because nothing goes wrong when he's home.
No.
And I was like, she was a toddler, and I was like, what do I do? Like, I have to go handle this, but I can't have a 3-year-old running around behind me while I'm trying to get like a couple of rams and a couple, like, I was like, this is dangerous. I literally put her in a giant moving box with a bowl of goldfish and an iPad on The Simpsons. And I was like, she can't get out. She's going to be fine. Gave me half an hour to go do what I needed to do and get everyone back in and use a tie strap to get that fence put back together. And I came in and she was happily sitting in a cardboard box, eating snacks, watching cartoons. And I was like, if people knew this, my children, like, she would get taken away from me if someone found out I put her in a box and abandoned her while
That's
I've been
actually
dealing with
genius
life.
though.
I didn't know what else to do. I was like, what do I do at this point?
How is that any different than a playpen though?
Exactly, right?
I'm just saying that was genius. And it was only for 30 minutes. It's not
Yeah,
like
it
it
didn't
was
take that.
all day. Yeah, or like in the car like you, when we were kids, you looked out the window and you kept yourself busy, you know?
Right?
Now it's here's an iPad so they're just constantly on it. But like that's totally different than like at a crisis you have to handle and you got to keep the kid
Right.
busy.
Oh, God.
So what else can you tell us about the homestead life and the chaos that you deal with? Any funny stories? Any animal stories?
Oh, gosh. There's so many stories out here. Um, The first year we had turkeys, one of them went missing for 2.5 days and then just randomly showed up again with a limp. And
Oh,
I was pretty sure he was gone. He was fine after a couple days. He obviously like fell or something, but yeah, no, he was gone for a good almost 72 hours. And then he just like showed up in the front yard, and I was like, "Oh, well, welcome home. Let's just take you back where you belong." Uh, and that's what told us we needed a better turkey pen, so we built that. There was a time when we got pigs, brought them home. Within 2 hours, they had escaped and we had lost them. Uh, that was stressful. It's like we just sent two baby pigs off to slaughter. Apparently, we found them, but
I'm
the
glad you
next
found him
morning,
before the coyotes did.
me too. Actually, like we were out all night because they're tiny little pigs, and it was the middle of the
Yeah.
night, and oh god, that was stressful. We had to learn everything the hard way out here. From how to keep a well shack from freezing, because there's nothing that'll ruin your morning faster than going to turn the water on to fill your coffee maker and having no water. I don't
Oh no,
function
what do you
before
have to do
coffee.
for that? You're like, I have to fix
We
this and I have no coffee.
we have a heater in the well shack, so now before winter hits, we have to double check it, and before any cold snaps, like this is part of the system. We have to go out, make sure the heater is functioning before the cold snap, because if it gets like -20, -30, and there's no heat in there, then we lose water.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you're dealing with
always
that stuff
something.
like currently.
Currently, yes. And then with our broken furnace right now, just having a heater going under the house so the pipes don't freeze, and then having a fire going at night. Yeah.
Oh, girl. I hope you're bundled up right now since I made you have to take off your or shut off your heater. Like, oh.
No, I'm totally good. I'm wrapped in a blanket. I got fuzzy socks on. Like we're Canadian. Like we're built for this, but like I've got all the apparatus I need.
I worked with a girl who lived in North Dakota, so basically Canada, right?
Pretty
And
much,
like
yep.
there was one point she was like, "Yeah, my husband's on the roof de-icing something," and I'm just like, "That's the life you live." And I can't do it. Can't do it. I moved to the desert for a reason.
Yeah, every winter we wonder why we live here. Because we'll get to a point where it's like -40 and like it's just miserable. And this is why we don't have a lot of animals over winter, because caring for them sucks. Like there's just no way around it. And like the -40, it's too much. It's too much. But
What
we're
animals
not
can
built
you
for heat either.
that that's true. You need a happy medium.
Yes.
What kind of animals do you keep during the wintertime?
So just our dogs because they're pets. Got
Good
our barn
dogs.
cats because they're over in the shop. We keep the sheep because they have their own wool coats. They keep themselves nice and warm. And the chickens, they have a summer home and a winter home. So their summer home is a shed that is not insulated because they just need shelter. And then the winter is an insulated barn. So they're in their winter home right now because it's bigger, and then they've got room to walk around and stuff. And that's it. That is it. Once the snow's pretty much gone, they'll go back out to their summer home, and then the baby turkeys go in the barn until they're big enough to be outside, and we just kind of play like the livestock shuffle.
So what animals do you get in the summertime? You get the pigs, the turkeys.
We don't do pigs anymore.
Oh,
Pigs are
okay.
not for us. They're really cute when they're small. The stink. We did not enjoy pigs. But we do turkeys. Sometimes we do chicks in the spring, depending how many laying hens we have. We'll probably need a few more this year. And then we've done lambs in the spring before. But our last ram was an arsehole, so we no longer have a ram because he was mean and he trapped me in the barn, which is why I'm not allowed to go anywhere without my cell phone. Yeah, he locked me in the barn and my cell phone was in the house, and it was like an hour before my husband came looking for me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "He won't let me out."
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we got rid of him. But we'll probably get like some bottle lambs in the spring, because they're so much fun and we need more lawn mowing power.
It's just a lot to take care of. So if the animals could take care of some of it.
It's a lot. And you can tell why this little section was cut off of actual like crop farmland because like it's really pretty. We've got hills and like a little creek, but it's just not farmable. So when it's not farmable, parts of it are also unmowable. So then you'd have to get more agile mowers. So we have sheep because goats are assholes.
Oh man. So you've kind of just played around with like different animals and then just kind of just got rid of the ones that didn't work and then sticking to ones that do.
Yeah, we joke that last summer or fall was when we finally undid all the bad decisions we made when we first moved here. Because we had sheep that were beautiful. They're Icelandic sheep, but you have to shear them. But they're also practically feral and they don't like to be sheared. And all of a sudden we were getting hurt. And I was just like, this isn't for us. We need sheep that don't need this kind of attention. So yes, we got rid of those ones, even though they were the ones that were born on the farm. Like that was hard. That was hard on me, getting rid of the babies that were born on the farm. But they didn't, we couldn't properly take care of them the way they need it without traumatizing them, hurting us, taking an entire weekend. It was like, this is not fun. So that's why we're down to just two now, and we'll get some more bottle lambs in the spring of the shedding variety, so it's not our problem. But yeah, we've learned the hard way that where we want to spend our energy and where our energy is not well spent. And so we've had to do some recalculations and fixing, but things are like it's gotten a lot better and things are not as hard as they were when we first got here. Like I know we intentionally made our lives harder on purpose, but now it's not like torturesome hard.
Like it's always going to be hard. That life is just never going to be easy, but like it's now to the point where it's manageable and you enjoy it.
Exactly. When it's not torture, it's still a lot of fun. Like, yeah, it's work, but like, it's kind of awesome to go like walk down and go feed the chickens and then watch them do their stupid chicken stuff and just be silly chickens. And like, I don't know. There's nothing good on TV. You might as well have chickens and watch them do something fun instead.
Yeah, they don't make anything good anymore.
No. And like sheep get the zoomies, which is so much fun to watch.
Do
Like
they
it is the
really?
cutest, especially like dusk, like when I'm doing like the evening rounds and they kind of hop like deer, like when they get all excited. So they just yeah, and then they'll bonk heads and then they'll hop, and they'll zoom around. And when there's lambs around, like even the older sheep like get all in on the zoomies. Like it's pretty magical out here. Like I can't lie.
Oh my God, you have to send me a video of them doing the zoomies.
I will. I've got some from when we had the lambs last spring or the spring before, and they're just ripping around, and then the big sheep are coming running behind them, and like
Oh,
it's so great.
yeah, I've got to see that because I love watching videos of dogs doing the zoomies. So got to see that.
Yeah, they do. And like baby turkeys, like even little baby turkeys, they practice their strut where they get all puffed up. Like
Oh.
it's so much fun. And it makes the work not so, it's still work, but there's so much cuteness and fun to go with it.
Well, and I feel like life in general is just work, right? It's just what kind of
Mhm.
work do you enjoy the most?
You get to pick your heart.
Yes.
And like she is learning so much and it's so cool to I guess we're living vicariously through her. Like I was such an animal person. No one who knew me growing up is surprised I convinced a guy to buy a farm so I could collect animals. Like no one is surprised by that. They might be surprised I'm living on a farm, sure, but when you connect those dots, like no one's surprised that this is where I ended up.
Even you don't seem surprised at all.
No, like it part of it is, and then it's like, no, this makes perfect sense with who I am, even though like the people closest to us think we're insane.
When you can tell how happy it makes you just by like you talking about it. You kind of like light up talking about it.
And that's it. We have so much fun out here and be in and around all the hard stuff, but like our families thought we were crazy, but well, especially because like none of us come from this life. None of us know anything about this. And but then they look at us and see how much fun we have and how much we love it and how good it is for the kid. And they'll be the first one to tell people that we are absolutely insane, but we're so happy.
That's so good though. Like you kind of like found your place. So what are your guys' next like goals with the your lifestyle and everything?
Basically, just maintaining the course right now. We love our turkeys. We had 20 last year. I sold them out and actually made a profit on them because it's expensive living this life. Like the profit I made on the turkeys was spent long before I made it on other pieces of this farm. So like there's no we're not going to be making money being turkey farmers, but it yeah, so I call them limited edition turkeys because I want to have enough that I enjoy it. My goal is for us to be able to eat for free. Like, if my turkey habit feeds a bunch of families and we get a couple in our freezer and I get to have the fun of raising turkeys, that's a win in my book. So basically our next plans are building a better turkey run so I can have a few more. Like I think I want to push for like 30 and then cap it there. Um and then that's basically it. We'll have a few more sheep. Like there's nothing major. We went breakneck pace for a long time, and now that we've like built in more of these like the structure and the systems and the ease to it, we want to stay there too. Like we're in a very busy time right now with the kid being in school, so there's only so much of our time we want to dedicate to this, and we have to have time for other things. Like my business is growing and I love what I do, and I have to be able to have both fit together, and that's the whole point. Like I don't want one side of it running the other side. So it's, yeah, just kind of doubling down on what's working and remembering to enjoy it as we go.
And do you feel like you're kind of at that place where things are just leveling out and you can kind of get to that point?
Yes, we've learned a lot of lessons, most of them really hard. And I finally feel like we're slowly, like every year gets a little better, and every year certain things we're doing get better. And again, go back to my systems nerdiness. Like, I like to analyze the data. Like, what did we do that created this? Okay, well, now what are we going to do to make that better? Or that was a disaster. Like, where did we go wrong? And it's like we just get to like kind of test and play with it, but now we get to do it from a slightly educated stance. Before we were just throwing spaghetti at the fan basically. And now it's like, we have a few inklings of how this works and how we want it to work, and we're no longer setting ourselves up for epic failures, just smaller failures.
I love that. What is like your favorite? So this is just kind of it's gonna be asked a little weird, but what's your favorite lesson you've learned in this process? Because like I feel like a lot of people are like, what's the worst like experience or something like that? But I want to know lesson learned that you maybe it was a little rough, but it was like this lesson really like was beneficial, or I loved that I got this out of this experience.
Oh gosh, there's so many good ones, but I would say the biggest one is that like not to fear the failure. Um because every failure we've had out here, while can be brutal, expensive, humbling, whatever it is, we learned so much from it that the recovery from the failure was so much stronger than our initial effort anyways. Um and that actually completely changed how I approach my business too. Being like a people pleasing perfectionist, like I was working my ass off in all the wrong ways in my business, and then learning that doing things imperfectly and failing and recovering and redoing works so well on the farm. And I was like, oh, this is what they're talking about in business. And so then I pull those into business, and all of a sudden bigger things are happening and more progress is happening in a better way, and I'm not taking it so personally. And then the other big lesson is small tweaks. Not Never change more than one variable at a time. We've gotten into trouble multiple times doing it, and now we have to check each other because we both get really excited about stuff. So now we have to be like that checkpoint of, we need to think this through. What about this? What about this? What about this? And so we're getting better at that for each other. And but yeah, one variable at a time. We've had too many disasters with multiple variables.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because if you change too much at one time, now you're messing with other things and you don't actually know what worked and what actually is going to fix something.
Exactly. And you don't know what each variable changed. Like, yeah, no, looking back, it's like, well, duh, of course. But we had to do it the hard way at least two or three times first.
Of course, of course.
Oh,
And each
yeah.
situation's a little bit different, so we got to try
Yes.
something new here, you know?
Yes, we've discovered that we are third times a charm people. Like our first attempt, we usually go in and just like, yeah, let's just do this. And then it falls apart spectacularly. And then our second time is a little bit more calculated. And then our third time, it's like, okay. And then we sit down and plan and we're just like, we really need to remember to do this at the beginning. Like we really need to do this. This is a theme for us.
So, with this different change in life, how did that affect your relationship?
That was hard because again, we went from family life to him being gone half the time. So he's gone half the time. I'm here trying to keep my head above water with the kid and the business and the farm. And when he's not working, he's sitting. And so by the end of the day, I was exhausted, but he wanted to talk. And the first couple of years were hard, like hard, hard. Um, and we had to reapproach how we communicate, how we operate, our expectations of each other and what's getting done. And because when he was gone, I was doing everything. And then when he's home, it's like, okay, well, he's doing this, but I can't get ahead when he was gone. Like it was so much to figure out. And it took us a while. And we're still figuring stuff out, but it completely changed how we communicated and structured our life here. And now that he's home pretty much all the time, it's so much easier to deal with and like everything's changed yet again. But it was a lot to manage and just to get through. Like it's so hard to be on the same page when all of that was going on. And so yeah, it came down to setting expectations and finding the ways that we communicate the best. And now again, now that he's home, it's so much better and our communication is so much better and our systems are so much better and everything's so much easier because I can only do so much on my own. And we're very complementary. I'm a great starter. He's a great finisher. He's a morning person. I'm an evening person. Like we complement each other so well when it comes to these pieces. So it's gotten so much better now that we've kind of settled into this piece.
Was there anything that you guys had to like did you like sit down and talk about it? Like what was the things that you did to kind of keep the relationship still strong enough to get to the point of him not working away so much?
And that was just surviving that part. We knew it was the goal, but we didn't know how long it was going to take. Just because he makes more money than I do, and so he has to work the job he works. Um, and it came down to like relationships. We hit a breaking point where it's like, this is too hard. We're making this too hard. What are we doing that's making this too hard? And then sitting down and figuring out where we had different expectations, where we were not expressing our needs and our wants and our thoughts and all of that. And building communication into the systems. And we still do. Again, it's changing. It's always evolving with us, but we had to sit down and really make sure we are on the same page and continuously coming back to that because as things go and things change and we get busy, it's so easy to kind of like lose the vision of the eye on the prize if you're not constantly like, does it still make sense that we're working towards this? Is this still exactly what we're working towards? And just continuously coming back to being on the same team.
It can be hard to navigate those. And I feel like, especially around the time that you guys moved with COVID and everything, I mean, there's been so many like divorces and just people that's relationships crumbled after everything that happened. And then to have something even bigger happen where you're like making a whole lifestyle change, having him gone, like that's a lot to get through without having some extreme consequences that come with lack of communication. And the fact that you guys were able to still communicate and kind of fix things as you could until the solution was there, is pretty
Mhm.
awesome.
And it's a choice, right? Like marriage isn't
It's,
easy. It's like an
no.
ongoing negotiation, but it's again the choice of choosing each other and choosing this life and choosing to find the ways that make it work. Like if we didn't still like each other, we might not choose to make this work, but we really, really do. And as much as it doesn't feel like it every day, we are actually on the same page, even though we're tackling different ends of the puzzle. Like it's marriage isn't easy, and then complicating it like this doesn't make it easy either, but you pick your heart, and
Yep.
we're really good at dividing and conquering, and in a non-sexist way, there's pink jobs and there's blue jobs. Like he cooks and kills gross bugs. I clean up animal excrement and deal with blood. Like we know what we're good at, and we set our roles and our expectations of everything that needs to get done, and then we tackle it like a team. And she's 6 now, so like she's in like that helpy helperton phase, so it's so great. Like child labor is my favorite.
Especially when it's offered. They're like, I want to help.
Yes. Yes, she loves taking care of animals. She likes vacuuming. It's like, sure, you want to vacuum? It's all yours. Have fun.
It's a bonus. It's a bonus.
Right?
Now that'll
Yeah.
fade a little bit later.
Exactly. We're gonna capitalize on it while we can.
Yeah. And she's loving it too, right? Like at that age, she's like, I want to be a part of everything. So like just
She
even letting her do
does.
that doesn't just benefit you.
She does. And it's made her like she's independent without being too independent. Like she's very much got the I can do it myself, but because of the confidence living out here and doing these things is given her, when she says no, I can do it myself, like yeah, she actually can. There's been so many times that I'm ready to be there to save her, and it's like, nope, of course she's got this. Like she was built for this. And so that's pretty cool too. It's given her so much confidence in a way didn't I didn't foresee.
That's amazing. So this is just, it's all around been work, but like you said, choose your heart. And it's been totally worth it for your entire family.
It has. It has. Like as much as it can be hard and expensive, everything that breaks out here is like $1,000 plus. It can be hard, but it's so rewarding, and it's so nice. We call it peacocking. Like during the summer at the end of like a long day where you've done the gross sweaty work and you've weeded the garden and you've done all the stuff, and then the sun's going down and the sheep are either doing their zoomies or they're just munching and just chilling. We do like the loop and the walk around. We call it peacocking because it's just you're so proud of what is out here and what's yours, and it's beautiful and it's calm and it's quiet and it's everything that we built. Like it's just it yeah, it's magical out here when that hits in the right way.
So anyone who wants to start a homestead, just know it's not beautiful to start,
No,
but it's worth
there's
it.
nothing Instagram worthy out here other than like the sunsets and cute baby animals.
Which is totally Instagram worthy.
Totally. But yeah, no, it's definitely not easy. For I write a blog that really it's for my business, but it ties farm lessons to business lessons because the most ridiculous things happen out here. So if anyone wants to know how hard it is to adapt to farm life, they can go read my blog because it's ridiculous.
So before you think about it, that's where we should start.
Yes. Yes. This is not an impulse decision.
I've already told my husband I can't live that life. I already know. I can barely keep up with everything I got to keep up with now.
The funny part is like I cannot keep a houseplant alive to save my life, but my garden will go gangbusters. If it's an inside plant, it doesn't stand a chance.
I have fake for that reason.
Perfect.
Well, and I live in a place that things are not meant to grow. So,
True. True.
but yeah, there's no gardening here. Just my dog
Yeah, I
rolling in the
guess that's
backyard.
true.
So is there anything else you want to tell us about, life?
that's about all the wisdom I
That's
have on this. My
all
life is a
right.
hot mess. People don't want my life advice.
Oh, yes, they do. Do you have a piece of advice, even business advice? I know that you run your own business, you talk about systems. If you have like a piece of advice that you want to share.
Yeah. Systems can save your sanity. A system doesn't have to be like a big drawn out thing. It's literally the way something happens. And so if you can, either document or formalize the way you want something to happen, it becomes a system and then it becomes repeatable and then it becomes so easy that when life starts lifing around you, it can just kind of take care of itself.
And I'm all about that. Like, I'm one of those people who like time blocks my entire day. Like, I have to have a
Hmm.
system on how I do things. I have plans on when I'm doing things and how they're getting done. And I try to overload, oh, don't try. I overload my plate to the point where I have to have a system in place.
Yeah.
But like, it drives me nuts when people don't have a plan, they don't have a
Right?
system.
Like, that's so reckless of you. And I realize my life doesn't go to plan, but that's why my systems are so important. Like, I intentionally built in the flexibility that when life starts lifing or the farm starts breaking or livestock escapes, like, I have the flexibility that I know all my stuff is still being handled in the business, on the farm, but I have the flexibility to deal with whatever the hell is going on right now. And the wheels aren't going to fall off any other piece. Most days. Most
And it
days.
helps you keep sanity most days.
Most days. Most days. And that's exactly it. Like, we don't want to be stressed out. Like, our bodies were not made to be stressed from morning to night. And even though there's constantly weird things going on out here, it does constantly remind us to just slow it down. And there's there's a lot to be said about slowing down and taking a minute to pause and appreciate.
Yeah. Um, it's something that I think a lot of people miss in their busy lives, right? We're so busy and we don't
Mhm.
really like sit down and think about that. But having some systems in place can really kind of relieve some of that.
Completely.
Uh, what about so we'll round it out, but I want to ask one more question before we round this out. And what is a piece of advice that you would give somebody who's interested in doing the homestead life?
Oh yeah. Start with one thing. Even if like homesteading isn't like feasible, like, you can have a little garden on your patio. Like, you can grow little tomatoes in a pot and they'll be delicious. Like, you don't have to do all the things all at once. And I don't suggest you do all the things all at once. Like, please learn from our mistakes. Pick one thing and try it out. Like, if you want, most places are now allowing backyard chickens. Like, a couple of chickens, they poop breakfast. And once you've had homegrown eggs, like, you cannot buy grocery store eggs anymore. Like, it can be started on such a small level that if you want to, just pick something and try it. It can be so much fun. And if it's not for you, then you've also haven't gone in all the way and you can easily abort mission.
Very true, very true. That would be me. Abort. I
Yes.
killed the
Yes.
tomatoes.
Right. And I know people that realize after they get chickens that they're terrified of birds. Well, if you haven't already bought a farm, you can abort that mission.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one. My husband's always wanted chickens, but he's scared of birds.
That is
Curious on
funny. My
that one.
husband wants a peacock just because they're so pretty, and apparently they're good predator control, and of course he does. Of course he wants a peacock, but I think turkeys are enough.
Do peacocks survive the winter there?
I would assume so. They would probably need kind of a setup like what we have, where they'd have to be in the barn, I'm guessing, because some of our winters, like, the chickens wouldn't survive outside. So they need some sort of like shelter and out of the elements and like some level of warmth. So I'm guessing peacocks would be the same. And that's also why we don't have turkeys over the winter. I don't have enough barns.
One thing at a time. One thing at a
Yeah,
time. Maybe
one thing at a
eventually.
time. Maybe, maybe.
There might be all year round turkeys.
Exactly. I'll put it on the never ending project list. It might happen one day.
Yeah. You just about one day you look at the list and you're like, yeah, we're doing that one.
Yeah. That's basically how our weekends go. It's like, hey, we've got 3 days. What's happening? And it's just like we need like a dartboard and just be like, okay, this is the project.
There you go. Yeah, just like make a vision board and then use like the darts.
I love it. Oh, that's totally what we're doing. That'll be fun.
It would make it a lot more fun too, right?
It really would. And you know, like all the projects, you want them all to get done, but they can't all get done. So you'd never be
No.
disappointed with what I like this approach.
And then
And
even
less
make one for your,
negotiation.
yeah, there's no negotiation because you're just throwing a dart. And then you can also make one for your daughter to do too.
Yes. Ooh, I
I think
love
she'd have fun.
that.
She'd
She
have fun with
would.
that.
She's demanded her own corner of the garden for next year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I just left you with a little idea. So
You did. I love this. I could hear my husband banging around out there. I'm gonna go out there and be like, guess what we're doing this weekend.
he's gonna be like, "You're not allowed to do her podcast anymore." No.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, this is what you do? This is what you do during the day? Okay.
Oh man. Well, I really enjoyed our conversation. I would love to have you on again if you ever want to talk about your business too. I know you talked about
Heck
wanting to
yeah.
get on more podcasts, so we can do another one and like really dive into the business too, because as much as I love the messiness of life, I absolutely love talking about business and I love the messiness in that as well. So, yeah, if you want to do that, we can totally dive into that.
Oh my gosh, I would love that. Totally. Thank you so much. This was so much fun. I knew after I listened to a couple of episodes, I was like, oh yes, I so want to be on this podcast. But I would love to come back and talk business. If there's something that gets me all nerdy and giddy, it's business. And like the farm does the same thing on the other sides. I'd love to come back and talk business.
All right, we're going to make that happen then.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on Messy on Purpose. And until next time, guys, bye. Now I got to go shut that off.